welcome to the best evening talk show in the capital. I said so, the dish brought to you by Epiglow. My name is Miriam Udua-Commenta, your host. We're coming to you live from the MX24 studios, Oleander Street, East Legon, Accra, Ghana. And as always, we bring you thought-provoking discussions, empowering perspectives on women's issues, and a focus on global development. Again, you're welcome. Come along as we continue to elevate the woman's voice, disrupt outdated norms, and drive real life-changing conversations, of course, with progressive women. I want to say a big thank you to Decazon for this beautiful set. I always tell you that if you want that house to be a home, one that you always go back, you want to go back home for it, like that experience. A friend of mine, Akosia Hansi, she says, you have to set a tone in your house, that when you're going back home, it feels like, yeah, like I'm going back to some experience that I cannot get out here. And Decozone is the only place you're going to get all of that experience from to your home, okay? So just contact them today and thank me later. Big thank you to my biggest sponsors, like my partner, Epiglow. Epiglow says that skin is suffering from all the harsh weather conditions, and we're encouraging you to grab you an Epiglow facial cream or skin cream and thank me later. A big thank you to Gino, Telecel, Cowbell Coffee, and Betway. Now, if you want to connect with us, the hashtag is the dish on MX. On all social media platforms, tag me on that thing that you want to talk to us about, and I'm going to be right here to share in that experience with you. Today, our topic is the inner conflict, women as their own foe. This conversation, we've been told not to have it because we are in denial. And I say this carefully because for a lot of women, we don't believe that we're each other's enemies, or we're fighting each other, or we're in competition with each other. But fact is, our actions prove otherwise. Now, over the years, women have often been seen as their own enemy, caught in an ongoing inner conflict. This struggle stems from self-doubt, perfectionism, and societal pressures that shape how women view themselves. They can become their hair sheet critics and often feeling the weight of unrealistic expectations while trying to balance personal desires and external demands. This inner conflict isn't just about external challenges, but also the mental barriers women create for themselves. It's about how women and the times unknowingly hinder their own progress and growth, caught in a battle of self-criticism, which is one dangerous thing I do not want my women to be a part of, and fear. Of course, joining me for this conversation, of course, I'm not going to do this by myself. I have the very eloquent, very stunning. I know a lot of confident women, but when she's coming, you know. Ganyobi, Achawa, communications and self-growth consultant, and Sheena Biney, general manager at Wopeka. She's about to give me a car today on the show. Good evening, ladies.
Hi, good evening.
Achawa, really? Achawa has a way of, showing up. Like, nobody matters here, just me. Like, okay, who's talking? Like, I'm here. Okay, talk to me. But listen, we love you. We see you and we see what you're doing. We absolutely appreciate it. And my mom, you see, the people that have the money, they don't talk to them. They're always at the back doing Madame Scissors. How you doing? How's Upeka doing?
Great, great.
Running a company like that in Ghana, how does it feel like?
I can't say it's not stressful.
Yeah.
But the impact and the money makes it worth it. So it's great.
I love that. But a big question in the room is, are women truly our own enemies? When you look at it holistically, from how we show up and the things that we do to each other, how we show up for each other, do you think that narrative that we are our own enemies is true? I'm going to start with you, Achawa.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Tell me about it.
I think that it's a perception that has been embedded in us just so that we cannot become the best version of ourselves. You know, you as a CEO, you realize that sometimes when you want the best out of people, you have to sometimes create some type of conflict around them so that when they are fighting each other, that's where you can get the best versions of them. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I have never heard that before.
I think that women are not each other's enemies.
Okay.
The enemy there is we not loving ourselves, we not creating boundaries for ourselves, and we not being who we actually are. I see a lot of women trying to become someone. I see a lot of women trying to talk and act like someone, that is a conflict that you're fighting with yourself. That's why when you see someone doing something that you want to do, instead of appreciating and loving it, you tend to act like, oh, where does she get her money from? Who does she think she is? So I think women are not each other's enemies. When I came here, I was sitting at the reception. My hair was not well combed. She told me, I have never met her before. This was the first time I met her. She was like, hi, your hair. I got the comb and I did it. If she was not the best version of herself, if she was not content and doing what she's doing, and she doesn't feel there's any competition. If my hair is messy and I'm on set, what does it benefit? It won't benefit her. But she is shining and she wants to see her sister shining. So she told me that, oh, brush your hair. I went to the makeup room, I touched up and I'm looking elegant. So I don't think we're each other's enemy. It is up to you what you think and feel about yourself. And you project that out. So in my point of view, that's what I think.
I'm going to come back to that projection bit, but I want you to touch on whether or not you feel like women are in each other's enemies in whatever context you want to.
We are not. Given the right circumstance, give us the right environment, we thrive. We've seen women do stuff over time, and this is not like recently. If you've seen the movie Hidden Figures, from time immemorial, although there's been like a cultural and systematic projection for women to sort of like fight each other, even in our religious sector, the fact that women have to be, for want of a better word, demure, submissive. We are pitched against each other in the most subtle ways, and over time, it's like we've come to accept that, okay, we need to fight each other to thrive. But to what end? Outside of that, we've also seen women who have done things together, Me Too movements. People have come together, women have come together to drive things that have thrived. Currently, my core integral team, we are females. It's about what? Up to like 9 of us. We're fine. We've been working together 3 years. We support each other, we collaborate, we play together, we do everything together. No backbiting, nothing. We're good. So no, I don't think women are each other's foes. Given the right circumstances, we are good.
And I like the fact that she's saying that given the right circumstances. If I am not doing what I have to do best, and I'm saying this because I have been at a point in life where I didn't love myself. I was entertaining disrespect. I didn't have boundaries. And I know how that made me feel. Anytime I see someone, doing something that I see her wearing this green dress and I love it, instead of me saying, wow, she looks so good, I think that it would also look good on me. I'll be like, look at her stomach. It's not even nice. You get it?
I see.
If you are not at a point in life where you feel like you are okay, because there are a lot of people that say, oh, working with women is difficult. No, when you're working with the right people, it's very easy.
So it's not gender, it's not a gender issues. It's really about people. But ladies, where do you think this came from? Where do you think this narrative, emanates from?
Because people understood how powerful women are together. When 2 or 3 women are in a room and they are doing things accordingly, the force is strong. Like, a woman is the most seductive, intelligent, unrealistic, dramatic thing God created. I'm telling you.
All of this for the...
I'm telling you.
Wow.
A woman can actually harbor pain, and she would cook, she would clean, she would do homework, and no one knows about it. A woman can carry a baby in her womb for 9 months, and she's still strong. I went to the labor ward once, and I'm like, gosh, whoever brings you to the labor ward should be worth it. Because what goes on there is a thin line between life and death. And people realize that when women come together, what they can do when they're a team, the best thing to do is to just separate them so that they can see each other as enemies, so that they can't work together. Because if you're going for a war and the soldiers are together, they are fighting together, they will definitely win. But if they have caucus, this one is saying that, oh, let me use the Black Stars. Good. Because I was at AFCON and I saw what happened. You would realize that there was a match between, is it Malawi or a country like that? On the 89th minute, the score was 0-2. 2 for Ghana, 0 for them.
Yes.
And we were going to town to go celebrate. They called us as, what she one? We were like, oh, 2 ones, 1 to me, shebu. I actually town where Achawa can she 2-2.
You didn't finish celebrating, arrive at your celebration spot.
And you can see that one of the things is there was not unity among the Black Stars. And the Ivorian team, because of the unity among them, they were almost eliminated, but they won the AFCON. So I think that the main reason why the whole projection of women are each other's enemies is because when 3 women, we come together that we want to do something, we are unstoppable. That's what I think.
Do you think that a lot of people also believe this narrative also because we as women don't give each other grace? So for instance, I could be going through, and you women, we are all women. Thank God we're all women in this room. So we accept that we have 4 seasons. Now the second season, we don't know what is, the first, we don't know what it is happening. In fact, that other one with the other soldiers that join, I mean, our periods, that one also has its own thing it does to us. Now, I know as a woman that when I meet a woman and she's acting out of character, I want to find out from her, are you okay? Because naturally, your mother will not raise you like this. And by the way, society will not allow you to grow up like this. So what is going on with you? I want to understand. And I always tell my team here that my first posture when I see a woman lashing out or acting out of character is, are you okay? Is everything okay with you? I want to understand that you know that you're not acting right or you're not showing up right. Now, if there's no reason, that's when I'm going to show you the back of my shoe, because now you have to act right in front of me. But we don't give each other grace. We just want to say, oh, that one, she's like this, without having to find out from her what is really going on. Do you think that also is cushioning that narrative, is making it, you know, a bit more accepted than it's supposed to?
I think historically, it's just like patriarchy, again, systematic pressure on women, just societal pressure. In my bro, we tire. Like she said, every person walking the face of this earth was birthed by a woman. That is not something that people take lightly. It's not light. Considering now there's also the demand to, for want of a better phrase, be corporate and be domestic at the same time. It's your bread. So I can understand why when you come in with your team and somebody is acting or showing up wrong, you'd want to prompt them by first trying to find out what the issue is. I think over time, systematically, we've been taught, and some of these thoughts, projections and whatnot, it's progressive. Like, by and by, you believe it. Eventually, it just, there are things that you're accepting unknowingly. Then it gets out of hand, or it gets, but no, women are great people, women work together, women function. Like, the topic is very kind of like passionate for me, because I'm a young people's advocate, especially women. Recently, I've been interviewing young ladies for my customer support role. And when they come to you, it's like they come from a place of they're begging for something. So I'm like, where does this come from? You're a young, intelligent woman, you're coming from school, just fresh out of school. Why do you have to come from a place of, oh, I beg you, I need this, as opposed to, oh, I just finished school, I think I'm eligible, I think I'm great, I think with my personality, I can bring this to the company, I can do this, as opposed to, oh, hi, you're there, I'm here, I need help, please. I just think it's been systematic that has been projected on us, and eventually women have just accepted that, okay, we operate from a place of being small, we operate from a place of being minority, we operate from a place of we need to banter, struggle, fight for things. Again, leadership roles were not accessible to women in the past. Lack of opportunities. There's very little opportunities for women, and so when somebody gets there, it's like I have to fight for this. I have to fight with the men for what I have. Then they don't even encourage other women to say, oh, come on board. This is something that is great. I think we should all come together. We should all do. So it's been historically very progressive as to the projections that have been put on women and the pressure that has been put on women, I think.
You want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think, you know, she was talking about the fact that a lot of women come from a place of lack, and I think it all has to do with the upbringing and the kind of society we find ourselves in. I also deal with a lot of women, you know, people call me, and sometimes when they tell me what the issue is, I tell them that, listen, when you love yourself, there are things you never do to yourself. When you love yourself, you'd always ask yourself that, in this circumstance, how do I become the best version of myself.
Yes.
When you love yourself, there are certain foods you not eat because our bodies itself tell us, like, you know, have you ever been with a person, and when you left the person, you go home and you feel like you are drained, it's like you are tired, you are frustrated. Listen, our bodies communicate with us. Their food, like for me, when I eat chocolate, I become so hyper. So anytime I'm sad, I know that chocolate does it for me. There are certain people that I avoid them, not because I don't like them. I avoid them because they drain my energy. And these are things that a lot of people are not, like, people don't know about. People do not know that our brains are one of the most expensive things that we have. Like, you can literally manifest anything and it will come to pass for us. So it has to do with ourselves. And one thing I believe is that when you love yourself, when you identify yourself, you become the best version of yourself. And when you become the best version of yourself, people around you also become a beneficiary of you being a best version of yourself.
Now, this one is a big one, okay? Because every time I've had to mention this particular topic, I would have to tell people that the original, and that is the feminist movement, the original. Because I know that a lot of people have their own ideas about what the feminist movement is supposed to be. I was explaining to my brother at one time that even the original intent for the feminist movement, which is include women too, let women be at the table too. It's not a competition between the men and the women. It's just that, you know, when you have 10 men at the table, just have 5 women too. You know, just give the same equal opportunity to women. What's the actual intent? But now we've made it a competition. And a lot of social media activists have made it a competition with the men. And I don't subscribe to both, because I think that whatever it is or whatever position there is that is available in the world, you should merit it, in my opinion. So if at the point, and I have this, again, anytime I have to explain, oh my God. Every time I say this, I say that, listen, the young girl, which is myself and us at the back now, we're not prepared for the positions we're looking for. So if I want to be in government, what is the preparation towards? How was I trained? What was the investment put in me for a government position or a position on the board of directors at some big institution, or even the conversations that we're having in terms of being included in whatever thing that is going on. We fought for the affirmative action, and that was beautifully acquired. But look at Parliament. How many women were able to stand for what's it called, MPs in their own constituencies? That they would even be put in ministerial positions. So the fight is not really against. The fight is not between we and the men, in my opinion. I think that it is for the system to change to benefit us. So the system is, if you are educating women, educate them for the same spaces that you're educating men for. If you're encouraging women to be in certain spaces, encourage them to be in the same spaces as the men, if you so wish. I mean, whichever way you want to put it. But let's come back to that. Do you think that movement has been able to help disrupt that thought or that narrative that women are each other's enemies? Do you want to take that, Achawa? Or do you want to take that? Okay, please go ahead.
Let me start. To an extent, I think this whole feminism thing should not be exclusive of men. They're supposed to be included in these conversations. They need to understand we procreate together as
a partners.
As partners.
As partners.
So obviously we can work together as partners. So the feminism space is not a space that is meant to antagonize men, it's meant to fight men. It's a space that is supposed to be included, it's a space that is supposed to be inclusive of men, so that they bring us on board, or they give us a chance, or the equal rights, as you put it, to occupy positions, to do great things. So it's a conversation that needs to be had, but I think the mistake that we are doing as women is excluding the men. Yeah. They need to be part of the conversation.
And making them look like the enemies.
Exactly.
Which by the way, they can't be.
You know, I think when it comes to this conversation, just like you said, it's a bit dicey, because there was actually a conversation on TikTok where one person is saying that it doesn't matter how educated a woman is, she's going to end up in the bedroom. And there's another one
with who? Where? And that bedroom is for who?
And there's another person saying that, oh, as a woman, you need to be educated and have your own money.
Yeah.
I feel that in life, we all have different priorities. As much as I work so hard, I want to be a baby girl. I'm just a girl.
For life.
I'm just a girl.
For
like,
life.
I want someone to take care of me. I want to wake up and someone call me like, hey, mama, what can I do to make today a better day for you?
Okay.
Like,
is that realistic, though?
It is.
People are enjoying that one.
I'm telling you.
Please
like,
introduce us to their
I'm telling you, and it's so good. Like, you realize that women are soft, and you see, as much as I believe that a woman has to be the best version of herself, make your own money, have your own standards, have your own boundaries, women naturally go through a lot. So when someone wants to help you with certain things, you should be willing to collect it. And I see that a lot with first daughters. I don't know the perception. Like, first daughters, they've assumed second Jesus character. And
Are you first daughter?
I am.
I am too.
They want everyone to be okay.
Yeah.
But is it we assumed it, or it was?
I don't think we assume
We
it,
don't-
but are
we
you
don't-
first daughter, though?
No.
Oh,
We don't assume it,
so you don't
You
get
see,
it.
It's not that simple.
I
You
know,
don't
but what I'm
assume
saying
it.
is that even if you can't give everything.
It takes time.
But that's not how you're told, though.
But that's you see,
It takes time.
You give. I'm saying this because I realize that you give everything to
Yeah.
the point that now you have nothing.
Nothing. And you
And
become empty.
my friend came to me crying that she had to sacrifice for her sister. And one time she was having a conversation with her sister, and the sister was like, "Did I ask you to?"
That one.
You
Those are
see?
grateful bands.
So sometimes I feel like as much as you want everyone to be okay, you can't pour for an
An empty cup.
You,
we
you can't pour from an
empty
empty cup.
yeah.
So as much as you're pouring into something, something also has to pour in you. Because when you pour to the point that you have nothing,
The issue is a lot of us realize this late.
that is why we have to let them know that you do not have to sacrifice everything just to make sure the family and your siblings are good. Because when you do that, you assume a position where even when you're in a relationship, you tend to baby your partner because have you eaten? Are you okay?
Instead of the reverse.
No. I deal with a lot of that, so I know how it feels like. I wish I could get like an empty glass and a bottle of water to do some a demonstrative thing. So I don't know whether the producer is like, if I can get like 2 glasses and 1 glass with water and 1 empty one, so that I can just describe it.
We're not sure of that, but if we can, if you can,
that's what I'm saying. That if you can
theoretically explain that for us, that would be great.
Okay, so let's imagine that there's a glass, an empty glass here,
Yeah.
and there's another glass full of water here.
yeah.
So this is you, because you are the first daughter, with all your intelligence, with all your knowledge, all your expertise in Wopeka, everything. And this is your family. Your family is, let's say, even there's a little bit of them. And every time you're pouring your knowledge, you're pouring your energy, you're pouring your vibe, and they never pour into you. They are always willing to take away from you. It gets to a point you become half and they are half. So what it means is that you have filled them to a point and you have reduced yourself to another point. They will keep coming to you because people do not have boundaries. When they take away from you and you do not complain, they will still take away from you till they see that you have nothing to offer them. Then at a point in time, they have poured and you are empty. Do you realize that people do not want to associate themselves with empty people?
No.
People who do not have anything with them. So now they've left you and they are full. They are now educated. They are now enlightened. They are now everything. And you are there living in regret. Your child does something, it's not even, you don't have to be angry. You are insulting the child. Do you know what I've done? But you see, when you pour into them, they should have the ability to pour back into you. It might not be financially, but you have a business. They should be able, like where your money is coming from, they should be able to support you in that part in a form. So literally when it comes to this whole feminist thing, I feel like women should not compete with men. Women have what they do and men have what they do. But when it gets to the table, we should all have a seat at the table because what I can do, another man cannot do it. And it's I think God in his own definite wisdom and mind could have created Adam and Adam But we need to complement each other.
Yes.
I think women...
I totally agree. I think really and truly, we're not here to compete on any level whatsoever with men. And I agree with you when you say that after you've done all of this sacrifice, you've made all these sacrifices, you become empty, and that is how you show up in the world. So in as much as you and I agree that she doesn't get it. But,
she doesn't.
She doesn't know. But sometimes you're conditioned to think that you are supposed to. Without the kind of education that we have right now, a lot of women will be out here drained and worn out. But now we know, so now we're making time for ourselves. We're spending a little bit more on ourselves. But that wasn't the case for some of, even our mothers.
Yeah.
Had to suffer that. Now we know this. We're able to make time for ourselves. Now, with all of this knowledge, we're also saying that, listen, if you do not pick it and you don't make use of it, you're going to be worn out from home and show up negatively out here. And that is one of the reasons why people will see you fight your colleague and they'll say, women are their own enemies. The conversation is getting intense, and my guests here, they're absolutely phenomenal. I'm enjoying the conversation. We're going for a quick commercial break. When we return, the conversation continues right here on The Dish on MX. We'll be right back. You're welcome back to The Dish right here on MX24. A big thank you because The Dish is presented by Epiglow. They say that skin is struggling. Give it, baby girl, give that skin air to breathe, okay? Use Epiglow facial cream, and your entire body has like something specially designed from Epiglow for you. So please grab that skin care routine. In fact, add that to your skincare routine and thank me later. I want to say a big thank you to Telecel. Of course, Cowbell Coffee, your partner for life. That is how I want to call them. Because anytime I get here in the morning and I'm having those kind of days where I am super drained, Cowbell Coffee holds me together. Gino says, in your kitchen, it has to be Gino or nothing else. And so for a woman, it's imperative to have Gino products in your kitchen. Else, I don't know what kind of woman you are. We're back into the studio. We're talking... we went on the break on the fact that some of we women, because of some of the experiences we've had, it kind of shapes us into women that we don't even want to look at in the mirror. We don't quite like what we're experiencing or how we're showing up, but then again, that's all we know, right? How can women break free from the mental barriers that prevent them from achieving personal and professional growth?
I think it starts with self-awareness. If you're a firstborn, know that you're a firstborn. That is where you start to create the boundaries. That's where you start to pace yourself. That's where you take responsibility for who you are and the things you can do and the things that you can't do. So it is important that you are aware. You are aware of yourself. Personally, I always say I have a temperament. So, okay, every now and again, I'll back at my team members. But I'm aware. You boys, not personal, it's work. We are here to work.
Don't take it personal.
We are here to work. So it's just the role that you're playing and whatnot. Mistakes will fix, we'll move on. And you need to be self-aware as a woman to be able to navigate the societal pressure, the systematic pressure, the everything in between, managing your homes, managing careers and all of that. From there, seek help. I think we need to seek help, support. If you need help, reach out to somebody and say, okay, I need help. I'm struggling. I need to talk to someone. Talk to people. Find a community that helps and supports the things that you do. That is the only way that we can sort of like curb some of these conversations around cat fighting and all of that. Self-awareness primarily.
Baby Achawa.
Okay, for me, I think firstly, I 100% agree with what she said. But primarily, I think we need a mentality shift. You know, we need to first and foremost shift our mentality from the lack mindset to an abundant mindset. We need to shift our mentality from the fact that we think that we have to act a certain way to be loved and appreciated by people. One thing I believe is that we are all made differently. You have your unique features. I have my unique features. She has her unique features. I can learn and be inspired, but I do not have to be like her. Because one thing about the parable of the talent is that God, in his definite wisdom and understanding, gave one person 1 talent, gave another person 2 talents, and gave another person 5 talents. So what you're going to realize is that some people would have to do more than you do. Some people would have more than you have. But if you are not able to utilize what was given to you, just like the man that was given the 1 talent, it will be taken away from you and given to another person. You were talking about the fact that we need to be self-aware. And self-awareness is something that is very personal to me as a person. Because one thing I struggled with, it was with my skin color. Growing up, I felt like I would be very beautiful if I was light-skinned. And all the friends that I was around were light-skinned. We go out and I realized that they're being approached by people. And it's like, people want light-skinned girls. So in order to fit in that space, I needed to be like them. But growing up, you know, struggling with it, and at a point that I have accepted that this is who I am. This is what makes Achawa who she is. If someone does not like me because I'm dark, I am not for you. I cannot be for everyone. There are people who do not eat fufu, which I don't even understand why they don't.
Why are you attacking me?
She said, which I don't know. But you are trying to make a point that you are attacking them.
I'm saying, like, fufu people, I'm saying that, like, non-eaters.
I don't understand.
You're arrogant. Because why must everybody eat fufu?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you not eating fufu?
What do you
like
mean?
Like the kind of feeling.
What is it?
Like fufu mommy different feeling.
Oh boy!
I'm telling you.
You know, I eat fufu, but
like on a bad day,
you are not eating fufu. There's nothing special here.
On a bad day, if you get fufu with light soup with chicken,
really?
Oh boy!
Then like I'm saying that the fact that I love fufu and you don't love fufu, it doesn't make you a bad person. Neither does it make me a good person. That is what you don't like. Imagine you are with a partner, and the partner says that because you don't eat fufu, I don't like women who do not eat fufu. So you will say that you will start eating fufu just so that someone likes you. Like there are people out there who actually have to change their whole personality, their whole persona, just so that they can fit into something. It will never work for you because that is not who you are. But if you are aware of who you are, you know, even if you know the type of bodies you have, you know the type of outfit that suits you. If you know your face, the shape of your face, you know which type of hair that fits you. If you know your legs are not straight, you don't have any business wearing short. For me, I like wearing short dresses because I have calves like Ganyobi, there are some dresses I don't wear because it won't flatter me.
This guy really came for me, didn't you brought my phone here on the show.
No, like that's what I'm saying. That is what self-awareness will do to you. That was what. And since I started loving myself, one thing about me is I'm a last born.
That's why.
You see, this is the type of person I ask you. I didn't send you to do this.
We understand.
And we get it now.
I have older brothers. I've always been afraid of being lonely. So there are times that I was in relationships, even in friendship. If my friend does not pick up my call, I was so anxious. I always want someone to be with me. See, I'm telling you, there was a time my friend did something with me. I was crying. I was like, please don't tell me don't to come to your house again. That was how crazy. And she actually told someone about it. And it's like, that is, like, I always wanted friendship. But I got to a point in life where I'm like, I enjoy my own company. Let me tell you what I did last night. So I have 2 phones. And I called myself on the other phone. And I was saying, hello.
Now you're obsessed with yourself. That is evil.
That's the word.
That is evil. She's obsessed with herself.
At a point.
It can be a great thing, but you have to also be careful. I'm sorry, but I have.
That is it.
Yeah.
But like right now, I'm not going to call it obsession, but I am in love with me. Like I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, girl, you look so good. I don't expect. I don't want to be validated by someone. Like, you don't need to. I need people, but without them, I am myself. And I am telling you this from a person who actually once was in a relationship where the relationship was ending. I'm like, you're not going. I'm not going to allow you to go because, like, that was how bad it was.
Nah, you know, let me newsflash, right? I think anybody that sees, because I was telling someone about she coming on my show today, and someone said, it's very evident that she likes herself. It's very evident. You can tell.
I'm telling you.
You can tell that when she's coming, she probably was in front of the mirror like twice, and she was like, nobody better than me. Whoever is on that set, no better than me. And you know, you can tell. When you go on her socials, you can tell. Like, oh, feeling,
What's the turning point for you, though?
Yeah, there was a time I was sitting in my vehicle. It was a Friday night, and I was asking myself that I'm not a bad person. I'm a lover. Like when I love, even with my friends, I love deeply. So when someone hurts me, I'm like, I can't hurt people.
Yeah.
See, one thing I always pray is that God should give me the ability to hurt someone first.
Oh,
I'm telling you, see, I don't have the guts to hurt someone first. Every time I have to be hurt before I realize that, like you could actually do this to me. So I was like, no, girl, like you deserve better. It's not as if you're hungry, you're desperate, you're pretty, you're gone. Like, girl, you got it all. So I was listening to a lady on YouTube. Her name is called Liz the Wiz, and she was talking about the fact that a lot of women would not get to their destination in life because they want to fit into a box. Meanwhile, they are actually a whole building. So I started. It was difficult. You know, first I started with meditation. I started with self-talk. And I have this big mirror in my room where I can stand in front of the mirror and see myself.
Yeah.
So I look at myself, and you see, you can look in the eye of your eye in the mirror. Like you're looking in your eyes. I started talking to myself, telling myself that I'm beautiful. And I realized that when I have that preparation, I go out there, it affects my mood, and it even affects the way people treat me. So it got to a time that I realized that I also was able to understand what I like. I realized that I like taking long baths. I could spend like 1 hour in the bathroom.
Wow.
I realized that I like to listen to music.
Yeah.
And I realized that I just like to walk and look at car numbers and be like, hey, that's 88. I like to just look at a plant, a flower, and just admire it. I realized that just doing these little things, like laying my bed, cleaning the kitchen,
laying my bed is a
spraying.
thing.
Like I guess I come to my room and I'm like, I feel, hey, I feel.
I love this girl.
Well, we do understand you.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. No, but laying my bed is a thing.
Like
It is?
yes.
I
And
was
you
wondering
don't
someone
know-
does it for me.
But it has to be late.
Timmy, there are days where I host a morning show, so I'm here very early. Listen, there are days where I'm up at 4. I don't want to lay in bed, though. But it is the going back to the house, knowing that you put things on the bed that are not supposed to be there, and me that I am tired like this, I'm now going to lay in bed. So going back home is always the point where I start feeling the importance, the excitement of I
It's
leave my
just
bed.
me that feels like laying on top of the things. There's nothing warmth and coldness. I'm not
serious. It will warm
I will sleep
your
home.
destiny.
It sort of like cushions my body. I absolutely love it.
And it's you.
It's fine.
Going back home knowing that I put a little diffuser somewhere, the room is smell.
Like even if I have a bad day at work and I know that my home is clean, my bed is laid, I just think about it. I was
You
like,
are being dramatic. There's a difference between clean and unmade bed. Unmade bed is everything.
Oh,
Hey,
with the clothes on there. No,
don't try to justify your bad attitude.
Don't just say, and by the way, it's not bad attitude. Clothes on your body is your clothes. It's clothes from your body.
I hear.
Guys, let's come back.
I accept. I accept.
But now we know that when we are going to our house, we have to call her to lay the bed.
Exactly.
You find my living room great.
Great,
Just
but not my bedroom. Lovely.
Great. It's just
Lovely.
great.
Bed. You lead a team of women. And sometimes leading from, my mom was teaching me the other day, you have to lead from empathy, you have to lead with empathy. I said, Madam, you don't know the people that I'm leading. Sometimes it's difficult to lead from a place where you want to lead with a lot of love, empathy, and what have you. But the different characters you're dealing with, and you deal with a lot of women, how do you teach them to, from a leadership position to be great, regardless of their lows, their for lack of a better expression, their negative sides?
So what I do is I have a blind side that I always check in with, just to be sure that I'm also Because sometimes as a female leader, you get exhausted. You are attending to too many different things at the same time, as well as leading people. So you want to be in a good space. You want to be in the right frame of mind. You want to be somebody they aspire to be, somebody they look up to. So consistently, I'm checking in with my own support just to be sure that, oh, I come to the table refreshed. But I am always very empathic with people. I play on their strengths. You see, when you put women together, for every one of my team members, I know what they bring to the table. And that's the only thing that I am looking at. I mean, why, if there's all these other things that they can do, what's the one thing that they are not doing well? It's not a matter of life and death. Yeah. That's one thing that somebody will do. Today, they didn't do this well. Today, tomorrow, they did. Is somebody dying?
Nobody's dead.
Is anybody's house on fire?
No.
As long as it's fixable, as long as we mitigate whatever it is, as long as we're able to find a solution to whatever the problem is, we are fine. It is never that deep. We put so much pressure and density to things that, if it's solvable and no one has died, we are fine. Yeah. We are okay. I mean, everybody is fine. So empathy first, playing on their strengths is
how you lead.
Yes.
Still with you, naturally, as human beings, and I'm not going to even make it a woman thing, but then you mentally skew it as, you know, we're directing this to women. There are people who just get you. They get things done for you. So naturally, you navigate towards them more. Have you ever been in a situation where
people don't get me? It's funny.
Nobody gets you.
People don't.
So nobody thinks in your company or in your space that you like this person more, and then it begins to make them feel like...
it takes people a while to get to know who I am.
Right.
People assume that I'm standoffish. I don't know where they get that perception. Maybe I need to smile more. I don't know what it is. But people automatically assume that, oh, I am, which I am not. Anybody that has met me knows that I am great. People don't get me, like, in the first instance. And people say I'm very funny. People say, I always say, I could have been a comedian and be making money. You'd be amazed. But people don't get me. But once you get to know who I am, once you get to know what I stand for, once you get, I mean, in knowing me, you know that, oh, even if I back at you, it's just what I don't go to bed thinking about you that, oh, you did something in the company, I'm going to bed thinking, again, who died? Nobody died. So as long as, again, everything is fixed, we're solving problems, we're getting things done, we're fine.
Right. Yeah, because that's also very important to know that, you know, what you're looking at from the team is not failure. You're looking at for them to win. You went to Ghana's Most Beautiful. Yes. This chick, her era, like, hey, if this boy don't let this girl win, we're happy for you. But you were with women, lots of women, and that one was a real competition. You were competing for the crown. Having to be around women who are competing, and in this case against each other, well, because again, that's the structure of the show, where they're putting you together to groom you, but really it's for one person to come out the winner. Dealing with all of these women at the time, what was it like? And did you ever feel like, oh, the way these people are treating this person, like, Charlie, like this person go win, they're treating this person as their favorite, and did that cause any form of friction between you and the females or any of the ladies at the house?
Okay. So to be honest, that was the first time I had been in one space with a lot of women like that. Right. Because at that time it was 10 regions, so we were 10 ladies in one house. And it was a bit uncomfortable for me because it's like everyone is in your, like we had a big room like this and we had our beds there. So it was lovely because we used to cook together, we used to stay together. And also with regards to the competition, there was one thing that someone told me when I was in Ghana's Most Beautiful. The person told me that we were having a conversation, and I think that person, Miss Nancy, at that time, Miss Nancy, the style coach, she was our chaperone on that time. Ooh. So we're having a conversation on the table, and this one was like, oh, I'm going to win. The other person was like, I'm going to win. And Miss Nancy told me that, Achawa, let me tell you something. You are not a queen, but you are a star. At that time, I did not understand what she told me because I am not a queen. Then, ladies, it's not my vibe.
I coming out
let's vibe. You don't like potential now. You get it, right? And I think one of the challenges was just like you said. A lot of women had, you know, mood swings. One time she's nice, one time she's not nice. But I'm a type of person that I like to focus on the positive sides of people. So I was learning from all the other ladies. There was a lady in our year, her name was Lami, and she was very calm. Even when you offend her, she doesn't say anything. And I don't understand, like, this person is doing, like, go and tell her your mind and calm it. She's like, no, Achawa, you don't handle things like that. Not everyone deserves a reaction from you. There are some people you need to deny them that reaction they are looking for. Wow. So I was like, okay, this is something I have learned. She's very quiet. Sometimes I try to be quiet, which is not me. Not me. If you do me something, I'll come to your house. So.
Hey, you travel to the house.
Like something that bothers my peace of mind. If I won't sleep, you won't sleep. But you know, I'm bad. It's bad. It's not a fair world. We can't be fair to no. Let me tell you, there are people who would deliberately say things to you to make you feel bad about yourself. Give them a piece of their cake. Yeah. Wow. You don't always have to be nice and go home and cry. Yeah. There are times you need to tell people that what you're doing is not appropriate. I don't appreciate it. Don't call me this time again. Don't do this again. Let them know. Understand? So for me, Ghana's Most Beautiful was a beautiful experience for me. Even though I didn't win, I learned a lot of things. And one of the things I also learned was there was a day we were going on stage to perform. And someone told me that, oh, Achawa, you're too loud. Why don't you go there and be quiet a little bit? So I went on that day. I was quiet. I wasn't jumping around. I remember Auntie Linda was our judge. She asked me, Achawa, are you okay? I came backstage and then someone told me that, Achawa, this is not you. The people that love you and appreciate you love you because of the vibe, the Ghana girl vibe that you give. And the following week, I was evicted. Oh, yes. After that performance.
The day that you decided not to be yourself.
Exactly. So we need to know thyself. We need to accept who we are. Anybody who does not love you for who you are is not meant for you. And you were talking about something that really resonates with me. Sometimes we want to do everything. Sweetheart, even if you wake up one day and you do one thing, that is it for the day. You can't do everything. You can't handle everyone. Life is an experience. The fact that you are my friend today does not mean you will be my friend tomorrow. At a point in time, we need to understand that life is a journey. If I am going to Kumasi and you are going to Insawam, definitely when you get to Insawam, you are light. But my destination is not in Atat. It was because you are going to Insawam, no. So sometimes friendship will end, relationship will end. But if we have ourselves, we can pick ourselves up from the ground and go forward in life. That's what I think.
I think that from the submissions you ladies have given me, I'm picking from each of you that whatever the situation is, whether or not people think that women are each other's foes or whatever, it starts with self. You need to make sure that you're good. And then you show up the best way you can. Exactly. And whoever is on the receiving end should be grateful for whatever level you show up at. Because I also think that, again, you know, when we started, I said that I feel like we don't give each other grace. I feel like the expectations are a bit too high out here. Like, oh, she's my friend, so she has to do this. She's my friend, so she has to do that. And then when it doesn't happen, oh, women are truly their own enemies. And then I was doing this and they didn't come and I was saying this. And I think those things as well contribute to that negative narrative that we have out there. Any final words from you ladies to my ladies out there? Killing that narrative that we're not each other's enemies. We have, especially this year, when we're celebrating International Women's Day, or International Women's Day, is it? Yeah, International Women's Day. What accelerates action is what there was. One thing I also heard from one of the speakers at that event, she said, it's important to also know that as a community of women, we need to understand what we bring to the table. It's not on the other side. What do we bring to each other's lives? How are we showing up for each other? If we're doing something that we feel like is depleting that relationship and that sense of community, what are we doing to fix all of that? So this is also part of it. So we are still conversating on what you call it, International Women's Day conversation, that how are we going to do better for each other as women? Because clearly the world is ready for us. Are we ready?
Yeah, I think over time it's been proven that, again, given the right circumstance, given the right situations, women thrive. So let's keep having conversations. Let's keep being supportive of each other. And everybody also says that, oh, I'm an adult, until it's time to have a real life conversation. So just like you said, assuming there's an issue or speak about it. And when people say no to you, accept that nipakono wabre is fine. For somebody to be tired, it's fine. For women to, like, we give us grace. Self-awareness, supportiveness, being supportive, being collaborative, we are fine. So just, let's keep having conversations, let's keep supporting each other, and let's talk like adults. More grace to each other. That's it.
Okay. Can you be Achawa?
I think first and foremost, I would like to say that some of us, we need to forgive yourself. I think that some of us, and it's all inclusive, we've made certain mistakes, we've done certain things, we've been with people, been to places that we're not proud of. And that keep haunting us. And because of that, it doesn't help us to help other people. Because maybe you've helped a lady before and she betrayed you, and because of that, you have that in your mind. We're talking about the fact that, I'm saying this with regards to what you said. So we need to first forgive people. And one thing I always tell people is that forgiving others is not for their benefit, but for your peace of mind. So sometimes you even have to forgive people even before they ask for forgiveness. Number two is know thyself. Know what works for you, which colors works for you, how you want to present yourself. And last but not the least, like, do not forget the God factor. Like, God is able to bless, He's able to change lives, and He's able to catapult you from a nobody to a somebody. My mom is Muslim and my dad is Christian. So when it comes to religion, I like to say that whatever thing you believe in it so well. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have a backbone that supports you
spiritually,
you are nothing. Because we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, we wrestle against principalities. So, like, whatever thing you are serving, serve it very well. And yeah, I think I would also want to use this opportunity to talk about the fact that I'm a brand ambassador for a brand called Vitabel. Vitabel is a supplement for your hair, skin, and nails.
Okay. Madam, I
say.
Before I even got there.
Oh, you are? I was there.
Honey.
Okay, so let's pretend. Go there.
I'll say, I'm going to ask.
Okay, so let's pretend. It didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Please continue.
It didn't happen.
Continue, my sister. Please tell us how we can connect with you. We saw also that a few months ago, and again, congratulations, you had an event where
Yes.
It was on your birthday.
Yes, on my birthday.
So you see, I follow you.
Oh, thank you.
I saw you were doing amazing stuff, cheering and all of that.
Thank
you went to
you.
cry at your event. Those things you should stop. Women, stop. Don't stop crying at your event. The men don't cry at their events.
I think we have different emotions.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
For me, I always tell myself that God is using me to impact other people. That's why God actually allowed me to go through certain things, just so that I would know how it feels like to be disrespected. You are there, like, I won't go. I know how it feels like.
Right.
To the point where I'm like, this is a red flag. I take off my shoes.
Otilo. Let's talk about the things you're doing and how we can connect with you.
All right, so just like I told you, I'm a brand ambassador for a brand called Vitabel, and Vitabel is a supplement for your hair, your skin, and your nails. At Vitabel, we believe that every woman needs to become confident, and if you are confident in yourself, you can be the best version of yourself. So if you're someone who has skin issues, hair issues, just take Vitabel and it's going to be good for you. If you want to purchase your Vitabel, you can call us on 054-818-2872. But even if you can't purchase Vitabel, things that you can do: drink water, exercise, sleep. Sometimes we work so much that at the end of the day, the monies that we have, we'll have to go back to the hospital. And surround yourself with positive energy. You know who and what is not good for you. Avoid it and be happy. Like, you got you. It's only one life.
Okay.
Be you.
Thank you so much, Ganyobi Achawa. And Wopeka, boss. Tell us about you, how we can connect with you and your business.
My name is Sheena across all social media platforms. Wopeka across social media platforms. Follow us, rent a car with us just by going on wopeka.com. But there's something I also would like to tell young people. Please do your research before you go into any interview, before you enter any room. Make sure that you are leaving without being forgotten.
Yeah.
Is that
good English?
Yes.
That's it.
So enter a room, let somebody remember you when you're going out.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can stay in that room. You can be picked out of the lot just in case you're doing anything. So please go anywhere you're going prepared. It's very important.
I love
the
that.
way you look, put effort into putting some sort of research into whatever it is that you're approaching. Just effort. E for effort is very important. Yeah, being intentional.
So if you want a car, please, Whoopeka is your go-to. She said Whoopeka on all social media platforms, right?
Social media.
And Vita
Bell on all social media platforms.
They're going to hook me up on all of these. Now to you out there, thank you to Epiglow for giving me this amazing show every single Monday evening right here. And so if you want that skin to keep glowing, Epiglow is that product I'm recommending to you. Gino, Telecel, Betway, and Cowboy Coffee held me down. Of course, right here in the studio is Decozone. Decozone puts together this amazing set for me to be able to show up with my guests every single time. Thank you so much. My name is Miriam Uduak Mensah. See you again next week.